If you ever find yourself confused as to why people are protesting or even rioting, you should consider that maybe you've never been this angry before. Maybe these people are feeling something that you've just never felt. Maybe they care in a way that you've never cared before. I mean, rioting is not a debate. It doesn't follow the logic of goals and outcomes. This is what happens when debate has failed. People don't riot to fix things. This is what happens when we've gone beyond the point of fixing. I mean, people ask, what's this going to solve? And I think just that question shows that you don't understand what it is you're looking at. Because that question still assumes that there is a legitimate system for addressing grievances. And riots are what happens when people realize that there is no system for that. We've gone too far. They've seen a militarized police force show up in their city, turning on its own citizens, and they realize that something is broken. I mean, riots are not, it's not a tool for forcing change. This is about expression. Imagine you see somebody, break their leg and they're screaming in pain. And you go up to them and you say, "Hey, what's the point of screaming? You should just get your leg fixed." It's like, no, they're screaming because they're in pain. It's kind of like when you see guys fight in the street. It's like, hey, what's this going to solve? Nothing. They're fighting because they're mad. And at a certain point, you've gone beyond the point of words, and there's just nothing left to say. People like pointing out, the looting that ends up happening. Stuff gets smashed, people steal. And they like to point it out as if that was the whole point. People just want to steal. But think about riots. Every riot you've seen, think about the context of when it actually happened. Every single time it starts off as a legitimate, peaceful protest, which is met with police force, and eventually order breaks down. And that's when the looting starts. That's when stores start getting smashed and people start taking TVs. But, I mean, if 10,000 people showed up downtown and started stealing, they could do that at any time. But they don't, because they're normally in a system of order. But when they see, Trump is sending in the Marines. When they see the military show up in their city and they see people getting brutalized and, excessive force being used, that's when the social contract gets broken. That's when it's like, okay, the people whose job it is to protect us, whose job it is to protect, dignity and respect. Once that is all broken down and it's like, all right, if you don't want there to be laws, now there's no more laws. Now we're just going to do whatever. And that's what ends up happening. The worst part is that, anytime there is a riot or like a really big demonstration, it is kind of an opportunity for everybody gets to see whatever it is they want to see. One side gets to see, righteous anger and then excessive police violence. And then the other side gets to see law and order. They get to see Trump sending in the National Guard, which is like his favorite thing in the world. This is the exact kind of presidency that Donald Trump wants. He wants to be the guy who presses the button and sends in the troops against his own people. It's like he loves the kind of simplicity of conflict. He can't really handle complex situations in terms of solving real problems, but he loves any situation where it's us versus them. He loves a nice division between people because that means he can throw in his simple-minded thinking is more troops, arrest everybody, start beating people up, and that will somehow allow him to feel like he did something. Even though you're watching LA right now and things are devolving into chaos. And that's worse too is that the conspiracy right wing hive mind always ends up turning to like this paid protester angle. They can never, conservatives struggle with the concept of caring about something other than your own self interest. So whenever they see a bunch of people show up somewhere and to demonstrate, to protest, and maybe eventually riot, they assume, oh, there's no reason anybody would actually be this mad. There's no reason somebody would legitimately care. So they must be getting paid. There must be some sort of organization behind this. And if you dig for it, maybe you'll find some isolated incidents of there being organization behind a protest, because of course there's organization. But just logically, you know there's no way you could actually pay 100,000 people to show up in a city to do this. So the question should not be, hey, who's behind all of this? The question that everybody should be asking is, why is everybody mad? What has broken down to the point when this is all there was left?